All right, we are live, and Little King Diamond says hi to everybody, even though he doesn't want to be in focus because he's a ghost. Let's go with that. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Wyatt's Metal Podcast. I didn't have one last week, and now I am back to make up for it. Hope you're all doing well. It is now September, which means it's officially Halloween season. At least to me, it is. Um, and I know metalheads in particular really like that time of year. Uh, how is everybody? Hope you're all doing good. Hope you all saw some concerts, maybe, hopefully. Since the last time I saw you guys, the last time I spoke to you guys, saw Electric Callboy live for the first time, and that was a fucking blast. It was so awesome. If you get the chance, definitely do it. They're just ridiculously fun. And saw all types of different people there too. Like you saw some metalheads and then some what I refer to as normal people. They had a very broad audience and it was fun as shit. I definitely recommend seeing them. What's up, everybody? Ricardo, what's good, man? Good to see you. Thanks for tuning in here. I appreciate everybody tuning in and listening to me ramble to myself for a while. um Photo Bear, what's up, man? Says, what song is your countdown theme? Good question. It's a non-copyright thrash metal song that I just found on YouTube. Someone's channel. I'll actually pull it up to show everybody. But it says on there it's perfectly fine to use and anything you want. Metal music non-copyright. And to me, I went through a couple of them before I chose that one, and it was the best I could, the one that I thought was best for me. But here we go. Let me share this page. Yeah, here we go. I'm trying to figure all this shit out. What's going on? So here we go. It's thrash metal instrumental death sentence royalty free copyright safe music from White Bat Audio, and they got a bunch of different songs. So yeah, pretty cool, pretty sweet song actually. And everyone seems to enjoy it. I think it fits pretty well for my type of style and everything. Hopefully you all agree. Greetings, Wyatt, Spaceman from your Discord server. What's up? Thanks for being here. Thanks for being part of the Discord. Hope you're all having fun there. Olivia says, greetings. What's up? Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're having a good time out there. Shit. Trying to keep up with all of this by myself. And Matt Griffin, what's up? Ahoy. Thanks for tuning in. Renee Kleiss says, hey, missed you at Wacken 2012. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't see me. I had the black shirt and the long hair. I definitely stood out from the crowd. So don't know how you could have possibly missed me in that crowd of people. But what did you think of Wacken 2012? Because that was my last time there. And man, it was brutal. Just like this year seemed to for not only Wacken, but a couple of other festivals. One of them I wanted to bring up here in a little bit. Missile Girl, what's up? Celebrating Halloween already. I'm actually debating putting up some of my Halloween stuff today because why not? I'm sure some people already have a bunch of it up. Hey, Honey says, hail thee, our savior. What subjects have you brought to this ceremony? Sorry, I'm a bit drunk right now. No problem, as you should. You're a metalhead from Finland. I'd be surprised if you weren't drunk right now. This topic I was mostly going to leave open to people and just kind of treat as a ask me anything. The channel's grown, I think, quite a bit since the last time I did one. Just past 12,500 subscribers, which is fucking crazy. I didn't expect that at all. So yeah, I just figured it'd be cool to hang out for a bit, chat with you guys, get to know more about me, my thoughts on metal or anything really. Just leave it up for the people. But I did have some things I wanted to mention before. Yes, if anybody wants, just feel free to ask whatever questions. I'll try to get to pretty much all of them. Oh, but the one thing I wanted to pull up really quick was you metalheads in Europe are not the only people who suffered from intense, some would say biblical weather at your yearly gatherings. Some of you might know Burning Man, the festival where hippies and tech millionaires go to take drugs out in the desert for a few days, got torrentially downpoured and rained on, which like does not happen there ever. It's extremely rare for this type of area. So it was similar to Wacken where people were legit trapped there. They couldn't allow more cars in. The people weren't allowed to leave for a little bit longer than they were supposed to. Yeah, Burning Man's driving ban lifted. um, so it's not just you metalheads who've been suffering this year. It's apparently the gods don't want any outdoor festivals happening this year, or at least most of them. But it's apparently, I think they didn't even get to do the at the end of the festival each year they burn the man. They have the giant wood plank they set on fire. I don't think they even got to do that this year. And if you think the lines to get out of music festivals like Download or anything is terrible, I promise you it's so much worse from Burning Man. I've never been to Burning Man. When I was younger, I would have been interested in going, but nowadays I am really not. But this is a normal occurrence after Burning Man every year. Now they add mud on top of it. I have no idea how long this took, but I know last year when it didn't rain, cars were stuck leaving for like 13 hours in the desert and shit heat. So I can assume it was worse now, but I don't know. 1 second. But let's dive into what you guys are talking about and what's going on here. Any plans for Halloween season from you guys? Any spooky stuff coming up? Normal people. Yeah, that's what I could. Normal people, vanillas, normies. Yeah, that's usually my definition for all types of specifically not metal people. What's up? I'm sorry. Don't know what you're sorry about, but I forgive you. Ricardo asked, going to any Halloween events? For October, I don't think I have anything in mind yet. Honestly, when actually Halloween time comes, when Halloween time comes around, I always want to do something big and cool, and usually end up doing like nothing and just sitting at home watching horror movies. But at the end of this month, though, is kind of my Halloween, or can be treated as it, because at the end of this month in September, a friend of mine is coming to visit, and we are going to Las Vegas to the Danzig show there, which will be Danzig with Behemoth, Twin Temple, and Midnight, which is pretty spooky, if you ask me. And then the day afterward, back here in LA, is Rob Zombie and Alice Cooper. So I can kind of view that as a early Halloween celebration. If I do nothing else and just sit around and just watch horror movies by myself, at least I get that little experience, even though a really annoying friend will be joining me and I'll have to suffer through that. But it is what it is. You got to do what you can for metal. Long hair, black shirt, we're all clones. Exactly. That was always been my joke. I'm at this concert. Look for me. I'm the guy with the long hair and the black shirt. You'll totally notice me. Olivia says, unfortunately, Halloween in Poland isn't like in US or UK, but you better believe that my front door decor is distasteful to my Christian neighbors. You better be careful. Doesn't Poland have some pretty strict blasphemy laws, or been playing with those for quite a while? But at least you keep the spirit alive on your own. That's what Halloween isn't. It's a energy that we all have, that most metalheads share. I'm glad you do what you can do for your area. Planet Killer, hey yo, what's up? Thanks for tuning in. Photo Bear says the OG Burning Man folks were like, "Hey, it's raining." Yeah, I mean, I haven't talked to any people I know who were there, but from what I saw from like ground reports from people who usually go and everything, they seem to just. I'm sure most of them were too high out of their minds to even notice it was raining. They probably just thought mud was, I don't know, some drug trip. So, uh, I mean, people there for the most part seem to be doing fine, even though a lot of their events weren't around. Most people weren't aware of what dimension they were in, so they were probably okay. Jesus Christ, this year has been extraordinarily warm, but very rainy too. Yeah, there's a lot of interesting natural events happening in places this year. Pretty nuts. Imagine that weather from Burning Man on Power Trip. It will be an anomaly. Oh, that would be shitty. Damn. Thinking about that festival, all the people like, you pay that much money to go there. And then I hope that does not happen. I hope the Burning Man people accept their sacrifice and do an anti-rain dance to protect the people of Power Trip Festival. I wonder if they've sold any more tickets. Probably not. Hey, it's Check Mole. Did you go to Hellfest this year? Hey, I did not, unfortunately. I think I just couldn't really afford it at this time. I wanted to go to the 7-day Hellfest that I think was last year. Originally was planning on that, and then also didn't really work out. My last Hellfest was in 2019, and it was fucking awesome. I went to all 4 days of that one. Plan to go back, and then the world changed, but I'll definitely will go back to Hellfest. I mean, it's one of my favorite festivals. I actually have a tattoo of the Hellfest symbol that I got at Hellfest. So hey, despite how overly crowded it is, I love Hellfest and will definitely be going back. Renee says, let's talk about Wacken 2023. What a shit show. Yeah, that was an insane situation. I couldn't believe that they stopped allowing people from going in. And I mean, I understand some of the safety concerns, but I think it could have been handled a lot better. I think they could have done a lot more warnings to people ahead of time. And I think Wacken needs to just figure fucking something out. Build a giant spaceship that just flies over the entire camp during the festival that can just block out the rain, because it's a fucking problem there. In Finland, we don't celebrate Halloween, sadly. Well, you can start it. It'll be up to you now to start celebrating Halloween. Just walk around with pumpkins and little King Diamond figures and just go up to people, throw candy. That's what we do in America. We just walk around with our weird mask and face paint on, and we just chuck candy at people. So do that. It'll definitely work. Start a new trend. I'm trying to catch up with these comments here. You guys are hilarious. Gosh, your friend sounds so freaking cool. I can't stand it. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't even understand the reference. Nick says, what's up? Love your videos and podcasts. Thank you. I appreciate that. What do you think of the headliners some of the festivals have revealed for 2024? Bloodstock, Architects, and Amon Amarth, Wacken, Scorpions, Amon Amarth. I mean, at this point, Amon Amarth is just like the house band of Wacken. They're there pretty much every other year, at least. Understandably. But I personally don't care for or follow the Architects at all, so I can't really comment on them. For Amon Amarth, I think on one hand, it's really awesome seeing a death metal band get to that level. I remember seeing Amon Amarth 10, 12 years ago, at least here in America, in like small clubs, moving up to decent sized clubs and then theaters. And now they're playing straight up arenas here. And that is insane to me. I didn't think that would happen. So I really like seeing in the ushering of new headliners, because people have been complaining about that for a while now, that the headliner market has been a little bit stale when you keep getting, as much as I still love them, bands like Iron Maiden, bands like Scorpions, who I remember seeing on a farewell tour in 2012. Weird. um, but a big part of me still is glad to see legends out there still performing. Even though I definitely think bands like Scorpions are a bit tired at this point. Um, but it's got to be like a mix of maybe they should start appearing on most festivals a little bit less to add a little more like, oh shit, Iron Maiden came back. Um, and I think there are a good wave of new headliners, like Behemoth is going up there, Gojira is definitely going up there. I see bands like Ginger also taking that spot as time goes on. It's an interesting evolutionary time for metal, I think. That said, I will admit though, I was not impressed with Monomar's last album at all. The one before that I really liked, whatever it was called. But their latest one was just, it sounded to me like it came straight off an assembly line and just like factored in like, all right, new Monomarth album. Doop, doop. And unfortunately, a lot of bands as they get bigger tend to hit that. Oh, what is up, man? Thank you for clarifying that. I totally spaced out. From Dark Funeral. Thanks for tuning in. I fucking love Dark Funeral. Not even kidding. Funny story. Growing up, you definitely get that kind of, at least here in America. My experience was we discovered black metal and dived into it super hard just because it was the most fucking out there shit you could possibly imagine. And then as time goes on, like I've had a few bands that I still have really been into and kept up with that I've tried to stay current with. Dark Funeral's at the top of that list, dude. The last album was fucking sick. I definitely, aren't you guys touring pretty soon or right now with oh wait, no, sorry. It was my bad. That was before. But yeah, I caught you guys on that tour and that was awesome. Thanks for tuning in. That's fucking awesome. Would love to do an interview sometime. I'm sorry I would butcher your name if I tried to pronounce it, but do you like the Misfits? I love the Misfits. I was excited when they did their reunion announcement, and I caught that tour, I think 3 times now. I thought it was great. That said, obviously, there's definitely drama, controversy there. I know some fans who loved them back in the day who just don't even give a shit about the tour now, but I gotta say, if you like the Misfits and catch them on their one of their reunion shows that Danzig said was going to stop a couple of years ago, definitely do it. It's awesome. Olivia says, before every festival in this country, there are dozens of people praying in front of the entrance. One of the charities denied payment because it was Nurgle. I saw that. Absolutely insane. Yeah, I've heard a lot about those Polish laws you guys have going there. Back when I was growing up, when I was a teenager, going to my first metal shows, like Dark Funeral, like even the fucking big ones, like Lamb of God and stuff, we did get a bunch of Christian protesters, and they would be out there with signs saying like "You're going to hell" and yelling at people. That happened a lot. That was a normal thing. I haven't seen that in a while here. I'm assuming it probably does still happen at some shows, depending on where they are and everything. But that was super normal experience where every show was these idiots yelling at us. One time I remember standing in line waiting for, I think it was Mayhem Festival or something like that in America, and this guy's walking around with a megaphone and a giant sign, and he yells at us like, "You need to convert and repent because at any moment you could just die." And as soon as he said that as a joke, I just dropped on the floor to be funny and laid there, and everyone just started busting up laughing. I was like, "Wow, holy shit!" Good times, good times. Um, Renee asks, "Do you have any festivals planned?" Uh, what is coming up for this year? I don't believe so. No, not for the rest of it, unless it's like some small one nearby. But it's not confirmed. But I really want to do 70K because they got their shit together and their lineup is sick, and I would love to do that again. Next year, I'm playing the Tulminator Festival, so I'll definitely be there. Can't fucking wait for that. That's gonna be amazing. My first show outside of America, so that's awesome. And I just love that area and wanted to go to Tulminator anyway, so I'm happy about that. I definitely want to try to hit other festivals there. I'm going to definitely do Maryland Death Fest, whether just attending it or more, but definitely going to go there just because I haven't been. And that's shameful as an American metalhead to have never been to Maryland Death Fest. Those are the ones that I'm certain I'm going to either go to, make a strong effort to go to, but hopefully much more will come up. I am quite spontaneous and can leave on a moment's notice. So you never know where I might just show up one day. Um, Trying to catch up here. My bad. Hani says, I'd better see Dark Insanity in the first bands that get revealed. Let's hope. We are definitely open to any offers that come in, unless it's to open for Coldplay. We might consider it. But anything else, we'd be open to discussing. We update with us right now. We have a show coming up at the Rainbow Bar and Grill in LA, which I think is awesome. Just because I have always loved the stories and the legend of the Rainbow. I've met quite a few people there. I apparently partied with Danzig and his whole entourage there one night, as friends informed me of later on, because I have no recollection of that. But it's no matter what, even though it's not like, in the heyday of when so many rock stars were at the Rainbow all the time and getting blowjobs on your table and shit. Uh, it's still cool to me to be able to get to play my music there. So if you're in the LA area, it's going to be a free show, December 8th, the Rainbow Bar and Grill. Come see Dark Insanity. Um, oh yeah, Numerock's early bird tickets got sold out already. If in October they start to sell regular tickets, then I will definitely buy tickets there. I got to keep an eye on Numerock because still haven't been to Finland, like an idiot, like a dumb, uncultured American. But that will change at some point. Um, right, yeah, Photo Bear, completely agree. Love them on a Monomarth, but the last one sounded like they were running out of ideas. That's completely what I felt like too. It was I still think they're a great band, but it just sounded like, yeah, cookie cutter assembly line. All right, this is what the album is gonna have. There you go. That said, they are playing I think pretty soon here with Gatecreeper. That would be awesome. Let me catch up with you guys here. Photo Pair's comment, you're going to hell is a pretty weak threat to a metalhead. Yeah, I don't think many people were convinced. I don't think they persuaded many people pretty much ever uh when uh when they did that. And funny about that, the last time I saw someone doing that, a ridiculous Christian protester with a big sign yelling at everyone that they're going to hell, was at this year's Comic Con in San Diego. Haven't seen at a metal show in a while, I don't think, but yeah, at Comic Con they were there, and also there they were just laughed at. I don't believe that they got anything done. uh, Watch 70K will ask you guys to play a month before they ship. I mean, yeah, hope that's definitely how they have done things. Um, and I can't lie, I'd be so fucking tempted to do it if that offer did come through. But And I'm just the funny thing is a lot of the times when they do that for smaller bands, I'd say they have them play at like 4 a.m., 2 a.m. I remember I saw they're not a small band, but aborted at like 4 a.m. last time I went on 70K. And I've always asked my friends this. I'm like, if you're in that position, maybe Dark Funerals played it before, so maybe you could answer this question for me. But if you're in that position where you're gonna go on at like 3 a.m., 4 a.m., do you stay up the whole day before and like stay up and play the show and then crash? Or do you wake up at like 2 a.m. or something and then go out and then like play and then start the day? I've always asked my friends that question. Soundwave says, "Can you recommend me any metal bands like Slipknot?" Kind of new metal in general, really, but one that comes to mind that is pretty new and I think is worth the attention is Bloodywood. They are I would kind of describe them as like an Indian new metal band because they've got all that sense of new metal to them, but they incorporate their traditional Indian instruments and culture, and that is awesome. I really like them. It's a little like, well, if you're big into Slipknot, you'd probably get into them right away. For me, it took a little bit because they do have half the time it's like screaming, half the time it's straight up rapping, and that was a little bit of an adjustment for me. But given time, it mended with me very well, and I highly recommend Bloodywood, for example. Um, and hey, if you want to go extra heavy, try going from Slipknot to Gojira and see where that takes you, and see if you want to explore the heavier, start to explore the heavier depths of metal. I would say. I want to pull this up really quick because I definitely want to answer this. Abbott and I are going to Hawaii and Los Angeles in January. If you'd like to do an interview, I would absolutely love to do an interview with you guys. Um, Definitely, let's try to talk about that and set that up. I hope you're going to parts of Hawaii that aren't burnt down at this point. Maybe you guys are doing a photo shoot there. That was evil. I'm sorry. But yeah, I would fucking love to do that, man. Let's please talk about that. Um, so Abbott and a member of Dark Funeral coming to Los Angeles. Interesting. I'm definitely keeping that on my radar. Uh, Sorry. Handy says, I would love to go to 70K of metal, but I'd probably either have to win the lottery or have to eat ramen and spaghetti for 2 years. Yeah. Being a broke teenager, it was definitely difficult to go to 70K. I remember the first year I went, I saved up for an entire year and was like, this amount of money I get put aside. Um, uh, yeah, no matter what, just like pennies put away. It was very stressful. And then also for 70K, you can either do a single ticket where they just put you in a room with random people, which is varies for other people, but or if you want with like friends or something, you one person has to book the room together. So in my experience, I was trying to work and communicate with like 3, 4 people who are all like me, broke teenagers, and it was very stressful. But if you get the opportunity, it is fucking amazing. It is, as much as I complained about it in my one video, which I need to I guess make an update on because I'm proud to see how they've done. Uh it's if you go, you're gonna have a fucking great time. It's so awesome. Pillow fights, drinking whenever you want. Um oh, since he's in here, this is a great story. In 2019, Dark Funeral played in 2019, I believe. Uh, and they played when the ship docked in Haiti, or they played that day. But so this day, um, I get off the ship. We're in Haiti for several hours, drinking on the beach. Did this epic zip line that goes from literally the top of a fucking mountain to down over the ocean down to the beach. I think it's the biggest zip line in the world, maybe if not one of them. But anyway, I do that. We're hanging out on the beach. Go back onto the ship. and there's this like fancy steakhouse there where you pay a little extra, but I got like this amazing lamb, which is very fitting for what I'm about to say next, because I ate this awesome, very good lamb meal and then went right down and watched Dark Funeral play. And it was so fucking fitting and awesome. uh that's the type of experience you can have on 70K. It's great. I highly recommend it. Let me jump back up to here. Hot take: best Slayer album is "Show No Mercy." Riffs are catchy, solos are good, vocals have that new wave of British heavy metal feel. Huh. I might agree. It's hard to say because I do like a lot of Slayer's albums all the way through, even the ones that sound different. I like most of God Hates Us All pretty much all the way through, even though it's pretty vastly different from Show No Mercy. But I do think when I play Show No Mercy, it does give me the most like adrenaline filled. It sounds kind of the most closer to Venom straight from hell, just like ripping, going nuts. So I would have to explore through that, but I might agree with you. Do you like Sleep Token? I honestly have not sat down and checked them out enough. I've only heard like little snippets here and there, but I haven't sat down and like generally gave them a good chance. But that does bring up a good uh, thing I could add in here is that I've gotten lots of recommendations to do album review videos, and I definitely want to do that. I've talked about it a lot. It's gonna happen. So I wanted to ask, maybe you guys can figure out here what should the first album be that I do a review of. Could be Sleep Token, could be something else. I don't know, but that would be great for me to really get affiliated with even more bands that I might be not aware of, and just dig deep. Not enough people spend enough time just sitting and really taking in music. And I think even that, I mean, metalheads are much better at it for sure than a lot of other genres. But even then, like, how many people will sit down and listen to a whole album and read the lyrics to it, or just sit and stare at the fucking clouds and just listen to it uninterrupted and just uh not only get the information but like really absorb it and fall in love with the album. Uh, there's a great quote from a movie. Fuck, I can't remember what it was called. It was fairly new, um, but one of the characters in it is played by Ashton Kutcher, and he's a music producer, country guy. But he has the most brilliant lines of dialogue in regards to music I've ever fucking heard. And he talks about how one of the lines is with playlists now, everyone just puts their favorites in that they know right away, and algorithms just feed you the same thing. So how are you going to find new songs that you wouldn't have been aware of? How are you going to find something that like really connects with you if you're just like connect? I mean, I'm not one who shits on all modern technology with music. I definitely see the benefits to it and the massive downsides. But Eric Andre says, Eric Andre Hansen, my bad. Met Abbott last summer, great guy. Fuck yeah. I haven't met Abbott, but man, all the great, everything you get is just great about that guy. He seems fucking awesome. The Easy Night says, I was a Wacken mud survivor this year. I was actually going to blame you because you said there's always bad weather, and it wasn't for like 4 years. Damn, I hope. I promise you, I didn't do any type of like rituals or anything to say that was going to happen. I very much did not want that to happen. So I hope people at Vakken didn't blame me for the mud. I hope you still had a great time, man. It sounds like you actually got into the festival. Were you able to still enjoy it with how things were? Or anyway, it's not my fault. I hate that fucking rain at Vakken. There's no way I would put that on other people. Oh, here's a good question. In Finland, Sweden, cruises are very expensive. I bet cruises are expensive here. They're not cheap either. If you drink, how much money do people use if they go in 70K? Um, to book like the cheapest ticket, it's usually like around $1,300 a person after the taxes. It might be closer to like 1,600 now, but but for that much, you get your room with your bed, shower, everything you want, whenever you want, and all the food is included, and all the drinks that are not alcoholic are included. I believe. I don't. Do you? I'm not sure if you have to pay for soda. I hope not. But but all your food is free. So if you don't drink like me, you can you pay that chunk at first, and that's kind of like it. Unless you want to fucking do some of the extra stuff, you can get by off of just that one amount. If you drink, however, it definitely does add up. It's very easy to forget how much you're spending because your room card is how you pay. So you can be shit faced out of your mind and you just have your card on you and just there's a bar like literally every 10 feet. You can pretty much stretch your hand out wherever you are and we'll grab a drink. Um, so if you do that, you'll spend a lot and get really fucked up. But most people tend to bring on what are they called? These little like plastic bags that you can hide alcohol in. They're made specifically for this. If you just they're really cheap. You can buy on like Amazon or anywhere, and you just kind of put the alcohol in there and wrap it like with your clothes. Most of the time, they either don't find it, or if they do find it, they don't care. But I did that the last time I went when I did still drink. I would grab a cup that and get fill it up with. I would grab a cup from the bar and I would go get my little pack of. I brought clear vodka, so I just poured it in there and it looked like water and just walked around everywhere. Um, so it can get very pricey, but if you're, I guess, smart or at least can kind of limit yourself, it's not that bad. But they definitely make sure it's easy to get carried away. Yes, fun show on the cruise. Awesome. I'm glad you guys enjoyed it. Uh, hope to see you again there. Renee says, "Hey, I'm not in this band anymore, but maybe you can check them out. They are called Infantry and just made an album, Terminal Society. My brother is still in the band. Yeah, I'll check them out. Love checking out new bands. So, Infantry, I will look that one up." Eric asks, "Do you listen to black metal? If yes, what's your favorite band and album?" As I was saying earlier, when I was younger and first discovered the whole Norwegian black metal scene, definitely dived really hard into it. Uh, I still have like my chunk of bands that I really into. I feel like that's just kind of it's not specifically black metal, but just as you get older, you do kind of like have your bands that you grew up with and kind of stick to and keep going back to. And that's just kind of how it is for me because I did that with many different genres, not just black metal, obviously. But um I do think one of my favorites of all time is Mayhem's Des Mysteria's Stum Sathanas. Probably said that horribly because I'm a stupid Californian. But that one I just felt like did have this type of like dark magic to it that you can really get the essence of. It's just such a classic. I fucking love the shit out of Dark Funeral, and I'm not even exaggerating. They're one of the ones where like I know albums you tend to like take a couple years when they come out, but when they do, they are hard hitting as fuck. Um, love Watain, love Dark Throne is such an interesting band, but yeah, definitely still enjoy them. Uh, damn, my brain is so slow. I know there's so many others. Uh, Abbott says he watched your post before. That's awesome. That is super cool. Hopefully, you found it funny. um, yeah, and Abbott and Immortal too are definitely up there for me too. How do you not enjoy Abbott? He's so entertaining. Um, Emperor too. Oh yeah, anthems. is definitely one of my favorites. That is another like mystical album. I saw them play, I think all of it or most of it recently when they just did America. That was awesome. Uh, Black metal is definitely something I very much enjoy. Oh, the movie is Vengeance, that Ashton Kutcher one I was talking about. Um, yeah, it's that movie. It's not metal at all. It has nothing to do with metal, but it has some of the most brilliant dialogue in regards to music that I've ever heard. Um, the close of them. Did you catch any Black Dahlia Murder shows on the recent tour? I saw them at Milwaukee Metal Fest, and I honestly was never. I wouldn't even say I wasn't a fan of them. I just never really got into them myself. Never had anything like against it or anything, but just didn't really register with me. But I just saw them at Milwaukee Metal Fest, and I made sure to watch their whole set, and I could tell they did sound good for sure. I thought they were quite good, and I'll have to check out more of their stuff. But I could tell the audience was going insane. It was such a big moment, really, because I think that was one of their first shows back with, obviously since what happened. Um, and the audience seemed like so intense and going crazy, but also emotional at the same time, and that was cool. I really got that. So it's really the best, I think, when there's a band that maybe you like don't know of or you're not like super into or like just doesn't connect for some reason, and then you see them live and you're like, oh, I get it now that it connects with me. Um, that's the best, and I would say they did that for me. But if you're a fan of Black Dahlia Murder, you'll fucking love their uh them coming back and still playing. Um Easy Night said, "Yeah, it was still great. We had zero waiting time." That's a fucking good point. The lines are great this year. Uh and got Iron Maiden first row for Wacken. This was considered empty. I'm sure it was. But hey, Maiden first row at Wacken sounds fucking epic. That's a something to enjoy. That's what I figure. Like, I understand the whole mini debate, I guess you would say, because there's people who didn't get allowed into Wacken who I think are pretty rightfully pissed off about that. But then people who did get in saying like, well, what did you want them to do? Like, just shut it down for the people who did get in and everything. It's such a like clusterfuck of a situation, and I find myself being like, I feel like the people who weren't allowed in have every right to be as pissed off and complain. But I definitely am glad for the people who were still there and got to enjoy it. That would have been shit if you got to suffer through all of that mud and get in and just have to get the fuck out. um Vakken is just such a hard one, man, because I want to be like, yeah, fuck yeah, go to Vakken, it's amazing. But it's really that rain is the main thing. It's just like it's when it happens, it sucks. Ricardo asks, "Are you a wrestling fan going Monday Night Raw this month?" Not really. I can be on like a surface level. Like if I'm going to a friend's like party or something and they're watching it, I'll join in and have fun. But like I don't know or really care about any of the matches with people or anything. But two stories to mention about that was when I last went to Psycho Las Vegas. I think that was 2020. Um, At the same time, not too far away, WrestleMania was happening, and a couple of my friends went to WrestleMania and then came back to Psycho and enjoyed the day of bands and everything. And I thought that was such a cool thing to be able to at a festival go over and jump and do that. Um, one wrestling that I do like that I've mentioned on here before is Hood Slam in Oakland. It is an underground wrestling event. It happens, I think it still happens at the Oakland Metro. That's at least where it used to happen. And this shit is fucking crazy. It's these they're in full character, but they'll fight in the crowd. They're using fake weapons and like fake blood and stuff. It's such like a show hyped up where it gets fucking insane. The main host plays this like over the top bro character, and the whole crowd will chant, "Fuck the fans! Fuck the fans!" Uh, Hood Slam is fucking legendary. And actually, if you're a wrestling fan, you might know of Shotzi. She came from Hood Slam. She was there and then went to, I don't know if she still shows up or not. It's been a while since I went there. But she kind of, I think, got started at Hood Slam, if not was there for a long time, and then went to the big leagues. So that's a cool little bit of information if you're a wrestling fan. Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is true too. Nils says for 70K they sell fake shampoo bottles on Amazon. Yeah, I did that too. I had a whole like giant thing of shampoo that was just straight vodka. um, there's a new metal cruise in Europe next year called Mediterranean Metal Cruise, traveling from Athens around Greek islands and going to Turkey and back. That's cool. I would like to check that out. I've only been on the American Metal Cruise, which is sweet to go around the Caribbean, but I would love to check that out. It's just such a crazy thing. Who would have ever thought of metal bands on a cruise ship? I did the Megadeth cruise. I think that was also in 2019 or 2020. No, it was 2019. And Lamb of God played, and Randy was saying we should just hijack the cruise and just go around and storm other people's boats for supplies and just keep this party going. Some people would be totally down with that. Matthew Given says, "Hey, I busk outside in Utah every summer and just got booked at the Forum Fest next summer. Nice, that's awesome. Uh, love your channel. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for tuning in here. All right, I gotta get caught up here. I'm a ways back. Thankfully, I didn't get muted again. That was terrible. uh, Tomo says, relatively new to metal, got into it the last year or so. Other than Spotify playlists, it's getting difficult to find more bands. What would you recommend to find more artists? That's something that I've kind of ran into an issue with myself because I remember being younger, teenagers, early 20s. I felt so dialed into the entire metal hemisphere where I knew exactly what was happening at every point, every new thing coming out, every new band. And it's is kind of like with modern technology, it's made it so much easier to discover bands, but also you just there's so much information overflowing that like you kind of don't hear, at least I don't really get notice of bands until they're usually have somewhat of a decent following already. Not mainstream, you'd say, but um I have felt like I've been disconnected for a while, but I used to just use YouTube really. Find a band that you type in a band that you do like, watch their videos, and then see the related bands that come up. Um, what helped me earlier in the day was message boards, like way back in the day with MySpace, with all of you cavemen who remember those days. Uh, and obviously, Facebook has those um, websites like that. You can find communities that recommend bands to each other. That's really always been metal's strong point, I think, is being word of mouth is often how it's gone. Uh, yeah, I do feel like ever since I've kind of been using Spotify more, my discovery of bands has been a lot less than it was, which is interesting. But especially here too, ask people what bands they'd recommend. There's definitely ways. Or for me, what it really helped me find a lot of bands is whenever I was going to a festival, or even a festival that I really wanted to go to, I would check out every single band that was on the lineup. At least one song, I would sit down and spend sometimes a decent amount of time just pulling up every single band that I didn't know and checking it out. And I found some great bands that way. Some surprises that I'm sure I probably wouldn't have noticed and would have definitely skipped at the festival if I hadn't done that. So that's one thing I'd really recommend working. Uh, Go to Rockstad Extreme Fest. I want to. That festival looks sick. I definitely want to go to that one. Uh, trying to catch up here. Have you been to Norway and or do you plan to for a festival? I have not, unfortunately. I definitely want to. Uh, Friends of mine go to Inferno. I think they just went to Beyond the Gates. Um, and they recommend it. Everyone I know who's gone to those festivals says they're amazing and have a fucking great time. Um, so nothing planned yet, but definitely want to. I've heard that the Inferno in particular is really awesome. And the Midgard's bloat, that's very appealing to me. I wanna go that one. Trying to catch up here. What are some metal bands that you never got to see and you want to see? Oh, man. I've seen a lot, but it's, there's definitely I never saw bands that aren't around anymore. I never saw Strapping Young Lad. I did see Devin play Strapping Young Lad songs, and that was amazing. I never thought I'd see that, but after the actual band, I never got to see. Um, I never got to see Dio as a band. I saw him with Heaven and Hell, Black Sabbath, and that was incredible. But never saw Dio with the actual band doing like Holy Diver or anything. Um, what are some more? There's definitely obviously as new bands come out. I haven't seen Crypta and I'm fucking dying to because I love that band. Was trying to play with them at later on this year at or next year at the whiskey, but shows filled up. But um haven't seen them yet, but I definitely want to. God, there's so many bands. I hadn't seen Merciful Fate until last year, and that was fucking mind blowing. I've seen King Diamond many times, but that fucking blew me away. There's always bands as new bands come out. I hadn't seen Electric Callboy until the other day, and they were fucking great. Um, Wacken veteran. At this point, I know which places they put the tents on, and some places turn to lakes. It's only natural to block the entrance if safety in an emergency isn't granted in those places. Yeah, um, definitely. I think in 2012, I tried to stay under the giant tents as much as possible. So you definitely can still have fun even during a fucking torrential downpour. Nil says Banger TV on YouTube is pretty good. Yeah, I like Banger TV. Obviously, set up by Sam Dunn, who did A Headbanger's Journey. I've been watching Banger TV for a while, and they have a monthly like announcement of new albums that are coming up, and I've gotten some good ones there. So they're a really good source to check out to find new bands. I'm trying to catch up. Finally made it to a stream. Welcome. Glad you could join. Anyways, do you listen to any Japanese metal? Um, I'm trying to think. I did I did like or I was into baby metal back when they first came out and it's kind of like grew old for me. Um, I'm trying to think of more bands. I know of X Japan. I'm trying to think of more that are like current. I'll definitely take some recommendations. Any awesome Japanese bands, please recommend. Um, Sabaton also has a metal cruise. Not surprising, it is sold out. Yeah, they've had one for a while. I've been saying I'm surprised Iron Maiden doesn't have their own cruise. I feel like if any band would, it would be them. Matt Griffin says lots of good YouTube channels putting up releases by bands with their consent. Mr. Doom 666, Rob Hammer, Season of Mist, Black Metal Promotion, etc. Yeah, those are sources to check out. I didn't know of a couple of those, but I'll have to check out some of those channels. Trying to catch up here. Hante asks, I don't know what to ask. How are you doing right now? I'm doing pretty good. I'm about to get back to working on my next video. It's on the some of the biggest myths in regards to metal that aren't true. And I do have some of the very generic ones that like metalheads are angry or metal's just screaming. I know all of you seasoned metal fans are exhausted of hearing from that. But I did include other ones I didn't know of to spice it up, like specific instances, mainly having to do with Black Sabbath and the band Coven, which I was completely unaware of until recently. But also a couple of other things I put in there. That video is almost done, and then I will be jumping over to work on another video for my film channel. For those that don't know, I have another channel called Film Rebel where I do film reviews, TV show reviews, talk about pop culture. Because aside from metal, I also have a background in the entertainment industry a little bit. So if you like me talking shit about metal and metal festivals, you might enjoy me talking shit about movies too. So you can check that out if you want. But besides that, I am doing well. I wanted to pick an album to sit down and listen to so I can have a review up for you guys. And yeah, we kind of had luck at Wacken. I mean, look what happened at Metal Days. Yeah, that was fucking crazy. That was literally a national emergency. That was nuts. It's been a year. It has definitely been a year for a lot of festivals. Burning Man, Wacken, Metal Days. I don't know, man. All us metalheads need to do some more either anti-rain dances or human sacrifices, one or the other. I won't be the judge of which one will stop this weather from happening. Anthem, great Japanese band. I will check them out. Cool. Speaking of Banger TV earlier, a lot of people know of Metal Headbanger's Journey from Sam Dunn, but he has another documentary called Global Metal, which I really loved, of him going to other countries like Indonesia, Japan, China, the Middle East, and talking to bands there and how metal has influenced like them and their cultures and influenced their music and everything. That's a fucking great documentary. I really recommend that one. Vegan Vampire, what's up? Says, just saw Death Clock and Baby Metal in Atlanta. It was a lot of fun. I'm getting the new Death Clock movie on Monday. Have you seen it? That sounds awesome. I saw Death Clock once. They were fucking amazing. I'd love to see him again. I have not seen the new movie, but I definitely want to. And when I do, I'm going to do a review of it on this channel because I thought that'd be very fitting. But who doesn't love Death Clock? Hail Metal Overlord. We have Hypnotic in the channel. What is up, man? Hypnotic is a fellow YouTuber that also complains about terrible entertainment with me. Check him out if you're into hating on pop culture. Thanks for stopping in here, man. Global Metal is great. Yep, definitely. I highly recommend that movie. It's so awesome. I recommend Versailles to start out. God, I'm American. Dumb. Anyway, they're a visual key power metal band, so they look kind of weird, but holy fucking shit, can they shred? Yeah, cool. I appreciate you recommending these because I will check them out. Eric says Coven is great, at least the first record is, but people saying Black Sabbath ripped them off are blowing things out of proportion. Some similar names, but musically very different. Yeah, that's what I've heard, is that musically very different. But from the little bit I saw, there were a lot of interesting similarities I was not aware of. But I know that musically they were quite different. Honda is heading now. I'm going to do something to eat. See you next week, hopefully. See you later, man. On that note, I do think I have to probably eat myself. Not like that, not like the Bloodbath song, but I should probably take off, work on my next video for you guys. Now that I can get videos done quicker, I think this will be a good one. So thank you guys for tuning in here, talking with me, hanging out. It's always really fun to catch up with you guys. I'm absolutely planning on doing it next week. I'm assuming nothing will come up, but so tune in for next week's episode. Check out Dark Insanity on Instagram if you like. If you like brutal music, check out the Discord that I have now. Check out my other channel. And I will see you guys soon. Take care. Stay fucking metal.